Good evening. President Bongbong Marcos' net satisfaction rating fell by 13 points in the fourth quarter of 2024, according to a social weather station survey released on Wednesday, January 15. Based on the survey, 51% of adult Filipinos were satisfied with Marcos' performance as president, 16% were neither satisfied nor dissatisfied, and 32% were dissatisfied. This resulted in a net satisfaction rating of positive 19, classified by the social weather stations as moderate. The social weather stations explained that the net satisfaction rate is calculated by subtracting the percentage of dissatisfied individuals from the percentage of satisfied individuals. According to the agency, Marcos' net satisfaction rating was the highest in Balance Luzon, where he scored a good positive 38, but it hardly changed from its September 2024 rating of good positive 39. However, Marcos' rating dropped in Metro Manila from a good positive 36 in September 2024 to a moderate positive 20 in December 2024, recording a 16-point decline. Similarly, in Visayas, Marcos' rating fell from positive 31 in September 2024 to a moderate positive 18 in December 2024, marking a 13-point drop. Meanwhile, in Mindanao, Marcos' rating plunged 34 points from positive 16 in September 2024 to a poor negative 18 in December 2024. The social weather station survey was conducted nationwide from December 12 to 18, 2024, using face-to-face interviews of more than 2,000 adults aged 18 and above. The underwater drone with Chinese markings that was recovered in the waters of San Pascual town in Masbate can gather information for commercial, scientific, and military use, according to the Department of National Defense. During the hearing of Senate's Special Panel on Philippine Maritime and Admiralty Zones on Wednesday, January 15, National Defense Undersecretary Ignacio Madriaga says all the information they have on the drone right now is based on an open source. Senator J.V. Ejercito then asked Madriaga whether or not the submersible drone may be used for surveillance, considering persisting disputes in Philippine waters. Madriaga says,
Based po sa open source, it's a data gathering equipment, and all information that this equipment can gather has commercial, scientific, and military use. Considering the strategic location of the Philippines, all available hydrographic information that can be gathered by any country would be of great advantage to them.
According to Madriaga, all information that the equipment would gather is essential, especially since the Philippines is a gateway to the Western Pacific from the South China Sea. For his part, Ejercito expresses fear that this information is being used for surveillance purposes, which Madriaga says could really be the case.
Katulad po na nasabi ko, ito po is a data gathering, and all the data that can be gathered can be considered as intelligence and information that has multi-purpose of use to the military.
Madriaga adds that the Defense Department is treating the issue as a national security matter. Meanwhile, the Department of Foreign Affairs says it has yet to receive a message from any country claiming ownership of the submersible drone. But in the same hearing, the Philippine National Maritime Group Director Police Brigadier General Jonathan Cabal made certain that the equipment is a Chinese-made submersible drone. The Commission on Elections will destroy 6 million printed ballots for the 2025 elections following a recent Supreme Court order stopping the poll body from declaring a senatorial aspirant as a nuisance candidate. Comelec Chairman George Garcia says they immediately stopped printing ballots in compliance with the temporary restraining orders issued by the Supreme Court on Tuesday, January 14, on the various cases of 5 election aspirants. Garcia says the 6 million ballots needed to undergo inventory.
Yan pong 6 na milyon na balota ay kinakailangan ma-inventaryo, ma-i-report namin sa COA, kapagkat kinakailangan po natin bayaran yan, syempre, yung na-imprentang yan ng mga balota. At the same time, hihingi po kami ng pahintulot sa COA. Ang mga balotang ito, maliban sa i-secure, ay sirain na kaagad ng Comelec. Isesred po natin ang lahat ng yan, hindi po sunog. sapagkat para mawala po yung agam-agam na baka magamit sa isang halalan o sa darating na halalan.
Out of the 5 temporary restraining orders issued by the Supreme Court, Garcia says that they were not anticipating the case of senatorial aspirant Subair Mustafa, who was initially declared as a nuisance candidate. The other 4 cases of election aspirants are seeking for local posts. These include former Caloocan Representative Edgar Arice, member of the Indigenous Peoples of Zambales Chito Balintay, Ilocos Sur 1st District candidate Charles Savellano, and Florendo Ritualo, who is eyeing a seat for San Juan's 1st District. According to Garcia, the Comelec will have to amend the numbering of the affected senatorial aspirants on the ballots.
Letter M po kasi yung pangalan ng kandidatong nakakuha sa national position, sa senador na posisyon. And therefore, pag pinasok po natin, pag binilang niyo po yung sa 66 na present na kandidato, ay 12 pong senador yung nasa ilalim na maaaring maapektuhan.
The Comelec says the printed ballots to be destroyed will cost around 150 million pesos, including the salary for employees working in the National Printing Office. The poll body began printing ballots last January 6, where Garcia previously said that around 78 million ballots will be printed. Garcia also says that the poll body has to change the election management system database, serialization of the names, and the ballot faces. Meanwhile, Garcia assures the public that this incident is part of the legal process and that the poll body remains in control of the situation. Detained Kingdom of Jesus Christ founder Apollo Quiboloy's bid to secure a Senate seat has been challenged before the Supreme Court. Labor leader Sonny Matula tells INQUIRER.net that he filed a petition for certiorari before the High Court on Wednesday, January 15, to overturn the decision of the Commission on Elections in allowing Kiboy to run for senator. On December 27, the Comelec en banc affirmed the ruling of its first division that denied Matula's petition to disqualify Kiboy from the 2025 senatorial race and to declare the KJC founder and leader as a nuisance candidate. Kiboy, through a representative, filed his certificate of candidacy for senator and would be running under a faction of the Workers' Party of the Philippines led by his lawyer, Mark Tolentino. The Matula-led Workers' Party of the Philippines questioned Kiboy's certificate of candidacy, triggering controversy between the two factions of the party. The Comelec then acknowledged that the Workers' Party of the Philippines has 2 blocks headed by Matula and Tolentino. Kiboy eventually asked Comelec to just declare him an independent aspirant, distancing himself from the Workers' Party of the Philippines party dispute. Kiboy has been detained at the Philippine National Police Custodial Center in Quezon City after being arrested at KJC compound in Davao City last September over human trafficking and child abuse charges. The suspect behind the killing of 27-year-old Marvel Facturan Kociancic is already under the custody of the authorities, according to the Department of Foreign Affairs. In a statement on Wednesday, January 15, the DFA condemns the tragic incident and extends its heartfelt condolences to the victim's family in the Philippines. Marvel Facturan Kociancic was reportedly killed by her husband, Mitya Kociancic, during a holiday in the resort town of Bled, Slovenia on December 29. In the same statement, the DFA identifies Mitya as the prime suspect of the case, noting that the couple had a fight before the incident. According to DFA, the Philippine Embassy in Vienna, which covers Slovenia, is working on the repatriation of Marvel's remains. The agency also says that Mitya is now under the custody of the authorities, and the embassy is in communication with the mother of the victim. The DFA further says that the Philippine Embassy in Vienna is working with Slovenian authorities towards the attainment of justice for Marvel. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.